Gurgaon, Kathua and Surat, ladies and gentlemen, the unspeakable horror 3 children went through in these cities should be a wake-up call for the entire country. A country where even today a set of people use human rights arguments for rapists. No, there can be no human rights and no mercy for these monsters, these antisocial elements, these brutes, these rapists. The only deterrent. Death is the only deterrent. And the demand for death penalty for rapists is louder than ever before. Let's debate.
On the debate tonight, 2 rape cases that have shocked India. Days after the Kathua rape case comes another spine-chilling rape case, this time from Surat. An 11-year-old girl raped, tortured and murdered. The little girl's body was found with several injury marks. She was brutalized for 8 days.
Here in Pandisara in Surat, where the dead body of the 11-year-old was found, we were told by the police officials that this is exactly where they were found, the dead body of the 11-year-old.
The body of this little girl was found 10 days ago on the 6th of April. The police is still groping in the dark. No leads so far on the identity of the girl. No leads on the accused yet.
The body was found on 6th of April, and today, 10 days later, the police still does not have any leads on the identification of the girl. The police says that this is the biggest hindrance that they're facing.
2 incidents in a matter of 5 days of our children being brutalized by these monsters. Is it time to say enough is enough and send them to the gallows? Has the time come for death penalty for child rapists? Let's debate.
And my panel opening the debate this evening, we have with us Aryaman Sundaram, Senior Lawyer, Supreme Court, Vasundhara Pathak Masudi, Lawyer, Supreme Court. I can see Tanveer Sadiq of the National Conference. I can see Faizan Kidwai of the Samajwadi Party. And we have with us Barkha Trehan, who's a social activist. Welcome, Barkha. And John Dayal is on the debate. Tahir Hassan will be joining us in some time. Gaurav Bhatia should be with us soon. Let's debate. And it's a straightforward and simple proposition. I don't think I could have made myself clearer. What mercy? What mercy should be shown? Mercy is to be shown for humans, John Dayal, not for monsters. There can be no mercy for monsters who attack our most innocent, most vulnerable targets, which is our children. But I want to broad base it. The problem in this country is that the bleeding hearts have always spoilt the debate. They have never allowed action. They have interest groups. They are philosophical but not real about issues. And they must take responsibility for the growing number of rapes. The problem is those who are the quote-unquote most politically correct, those in the elitist circles will also crib the most about the rising number of rapes in our country. How can you stop the number of rapes in our country if at the same time you fight for the human rights of rapists? That's all I want to say at the start. The debate is open. Who would like to open the debate? I'd leave the floor open to John Dayal to open the debate perhaps. John Dayal starts the debate. Anyone else can feel free to come in. Please. Death is the only
Mr.
answer.
Goswami,
Death.
I quite
Death.
agree with you.
Death. My view is death.
No.
Death is the only answer.
I quite agree with you that these heinous crimes need to be punished, they need to be stopped, and they should be punished to the extent that the law permits. My argument is the death penalty should not be on the statute books. It's a different
No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
How do we
You can't
stop
be selective
it?
about
had the death penalty.
No, you can't be selective. Tanveer. No, you can't. You can't. This is not a. No, this is not a. This is not. No, this is not.
I just need 30 seconds. Just 30 seconds.
Yeah, Tanveer.
Just the question, a jurisprudential one, is can a run-of-a-mill punishment like a few years imprisonment deter rapes of this nature? No, clearly no. It's only something that the criminal values, like his life and fear of losing, as an effective deterrent, but also possibly even eliminate the scourge of a child rape. Capital punishment would constitute the effective cause that can deter child rapes. The rapist, just 30 seconds more, the rapist is actually destroying a child's life, and the child rapist knows this. So the punishment is proportionate to the nature of the crime.
Yeah.
Now, for example, if our legal system goes soft, on merely slaps and imprisonment of a few years or a penny fine, this would not only serve as a deterrent but open the floodgates of crime of this nature.
Let Barka come in. Let Barka come in on the right.
Just one more.
The death penalty should not be on the statute.
Just one more. When a person commits a crime of sexual assault, they try to steal the soul of the victim.
Treason.
So I support a death sentence because children are
Barka Trehan is on the debate, Barka.
The rapist, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, Barka.
You support the
The
death
purpose is
sentence.
to reform these people, not eliminate them.
Reform
Are
whom?
you getting me, Arnab?
Reform whom?
Are you able to hear me?
Reform whom?
The purpose?
Are you sure?
No.
These so-called juvenile
Hello?
monsters, you
Barka and
say,
Faizan.
are you sure they are
The
reformed?
purpose
Are you
is
100%
not
sure,
to
ma'am?
eliminate
call
these
us so
people.
Are you 100% sure, ma'am? That they are
Yes,
reformed?
I
Are you
am very
100%
sure
ma'am?
that reforms should be there.
Faizan and Barka.
Oh, really, ma'am? There's a case I'll
Yes,
quote
I
to
am
you.
100%
Ma'am,
sure.
ma'am,
I'm
there's a case I'll
100%.
quote to you in Delhi.
And there's a case.
Okay, ma'am,
There's
there are
a
two things
case
I'd
which
like
I
to ask
can
you.
quote
Just let me,
that
ma'am,
reforms
just let me
will
make my
work.
point. Ma'am, let me
And
make my
if
point.
we cannot
Ma'am,
give a
Ma'am, just let
person
me make my point. I'll give you an
whatever
example.
is not given, we
Ma'am, I'll
cannot
give you an
take away
example.
somebody's
Ma'am, just
life
let me give
when
an
we
example.
cannot give lives.
Ma'am, just let me give an example, and then you can reply, ma'am. Just let me give an example. See, in Delhi, there was this 17-year-old guy who abducted a 13-year-old boy. He killed him. He threw his body, and then he was caught. Instead of being punished, he was sent to a juvenile home, from where he was released in just 2 months, saying that he has a very good behavior. The moment he came out, he murdered a 65-year-old woman. And everyone who saved him, who didn't let him get punished, I would say those people are equally responsible for the death of this 65-year-old woman. You,
I want
ma'am,
to-
I have great deal of respect for
How do you-
the compassion,
how do you
you
know
have for humanity.
how that can be a
Ma'am,
particular-
but with great respect and great responsibility, I would want to ask you this question, ma'am. With great responsibility, I say that if because of you, a so-called juvenile who's actually a monster, who was capable enough to murder or rape somebody, if because of any organization which you people support, if because of you guys, that person goes out scot-free in the society and he commits a similar crime, I would want to ask you, ma'am, would you make yourself responsible
I would like to ask you,
and
can you
let
give life
courts
to a
try you as a
person?
co-conspirator in such a case?
Can you give life to any person? How can you take away a life of a person?
Vasundhara
How can
Pathak
you
Masoodi.
take
Ma'am, I
life?
can't. That's
Can you
why
give life to
I
any
can't.
person?
That's why I
No,
can't
that's
take
all right. We have
anyone's
to hear
life.
the contrary
I
argument.
can't give life.
That's
That's
all
why
right.
I
Let me
can't
please
take
come in.
anybody's life.
Vasundhara Pathak,
And if
I will
somebody
go.
takes- if
Vasundhara
somebody
is
takes
on the
someone
debate. She's the one who will
else's
take her on.
life,
One
that
second.
person has
One
no
second.
right
One
to
second.
live.
Let Barka Trehan, let me
me
decide.
please come in.
Let me decide. Let me go with the flow. One second. Barka Trehan. Barka Trehan. I find your argument. Barka Trehan. Listen, Barka Trehan. You see, with respect, this NGO type,
yes.
this little NGO type argument will be very good for NGOs which will seek funding, saying we will reform society. Unfortunately, I'll tell you, my views are the more important
What
thing.
are you talking about? This is not NGO type.
Well,
this is
I
about
think it's
humanity.
NGO type.
Think about the humanity. grounds.
I
When
would
we
think
cannot
about
give life
humanity.
to any
I
person,
don't
why
give
can't
me
we go for the
don't give me the
reforms?
shrill
Humanity,
self-serving
humanity,
argument.
humanity.
Barka
I know
Trehan,
such cases.
Barka
I
Trehan,
know such
Barka
cases
Trehan,
in
listen to
which
me.
innocent
Barka,
people are
I'll ask you a simple
She's
question.
seeking humanity.
Barka, my
So
question
we
is to you and
have
Vasundhara. After
to
that, you can come in.
that they were
After that, you can come in. One second, Barka. One second,
So you
Barka.
mean to say
Barka,
my
listen to me.
innocent will be
Listen to me.
hanged?
This is my view. Why are you
So
so
you mean
intolerant?
to say
Why are all of you
innocent
so
will be
intolerant?
hanged?
Why is your entire brigade so intolerant?
I
Have
am
you? The
not
problem is
intolerant. Just
the reason you are
answer one
intolerant.
question.
The reason is this
When
brigade,
you're
this politically
intolerant,
correct
then we have
Lutean pseudo-elitist NGO brigade is intolerant is because for the last 70 years since our independence, this brigade has never been questioned. Now I'm going to question this brigade. My question is very simple. Barka, listen to me. And I'll tell you frankly, you know, with this kind of an argument,
My
you can
question
go
is
to
very
many.
simple.
With
First
this
answer
kind of
my
an
question.
argument, with
Can
this
we
kind,
give life
with
to
this,
someone?
with this is the argument.
Why
It's
can't
you
we
surprise
deliver
me,
reforms?
Barka
What is the
Trehan.
problem
You
with
surprise
the
me.
reforms?
I am not saying it's you, but I'm saying this is my view.
Why?
Don't
Why
show me
do
your
you
intolerance.
so you mean
With
to
this
say
kind of an
innocent
argument,
can be
you
harmed?
can go. I'll tell you
There
one
are
thing.
so many
No.
people who
With
are
this kind of an argument,
So what-
with this
how can
kind,
we believe
Barka,
that?
please listen to me, Barka. Have the decency to listen to me.
So
With
can
this
an
argument,
innocent
I'm
be
saying
hanged?
from Copenhagen,
be hanged?
from Copenhagen to Norway, to Washington, to London, you will go. with a placard saying India is the rape capital of the world. I want to reform Indians, and foreign NGOs will give you lots of dollars to reform rapists in India. You must ask those foreign NGOs, Barkha, if ever anyone to ask them that in their country, if their country would rapist murderers be allowed to reform in their society? No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. In the USA, they would put them on the electric chair. In the USA, they would put them on the electric chair. In India, you'll say reform. My question to you is simple. Since you want to reform and you believe in reform, Vasundhara, my question is, the 8-year-old in Kathua,
no, I don't
right?
believe
One
in
second.
reform.
Vasundhara, simple one-line question.
I don't believe
one-line
in
question,
this.
Vasundhara. Take the debate from there. Can Barkha today, for example, reform the 60-year-old pervert who performed rituals on the 8-year-old child and then gang raped her? I want the man to be Barkha wants to reform the 60-year-old.
Absolutely.
I feel he deserves to be
I
killed. Barkha
second
wants
what
to
you
reform
say,
him.
Arnabji.
I say if that man lives, he is a danger
Now,
to society and to
let me
all
answer the
women at
question.
large. Please. Go ahead. Viewers can tell us who is
Let me
correct.
answer the question.
Yeah.
And before I go on, no, please let me answer the question. And before I go on elaborating the answer, I would request all the panelists sitting over there to please indulge in debate in the most civilized manner. Do not shout over each other. Let's contribute towards the debate constructively. Number one. Number two, now let's talk about the case in hand, that is the Kathua case. The girl was kidnapped, the girl was raped, she was smashed, she was battered. The girl's body was mutilated, and the girl's, I mean the most horrendous or horrific kinds of acts were being done on her.
Shame.
And in a manner which was a part of a conspiracy. Do you expect such people to be reformed? Number two, when such cases are being dealt in the courts of law, the conviction is supposed to be, or the sentence is supposed to be handed out on the basis of two theories. Let me complete. The conviction is done and the punishment is handed out on the basis of two theories, retribution and reformative. I suppose and I believe with full conviction to even speak of reformation in such cases would
What
be
reformation?
Kind of
Reform whom?
To behave as a nincompoop
You can't reform
of the
these people.
highest order.
Arnab, can I come
It would behave like a
Arnab.
nincompoop of the highest
mean to say
order.
that
And then comes the retributive theory.
Arnab.
So
As
you
per
will
the
eliminate
retributive
it.
theory, we need to
Aryaman.
punish the offender in proportion of the crime that he has committed.
Yeah,
Along with
Arnab,
the
allow me
deterrence.
to
We
also
need
come
to
in.
Gaurav, one
establish the
minute.
deterrence.
Gaurav.
What would you do if there is no deterrence?
Gaurav, listen, I will come to you, but after
Arnab.
Aryaman. And before I come to you, I want you to think today. Aryaman, 1 second. I'll let you speak, but I want to give Gaurav a little bit of room for thought. Gaurav, India is being portrayed as the rape capital of the world. And Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, I would request you to go
this
and tell
media
your
is
party
doing.
and your
This
government's
media-
top leadership that sadly and most unfortunately, this is true and not an exaggeration. We are living in a country where an entire nation has to combine their anger to plead to your government to sack your ministers in Jammu and Kashmir. You did nothing on your own. We live in a country where the BJP's law and order machinery colluded with the alleged rapist MLA for over 300 days to deny a 17-year-old rape victim justice. You did nothing on your own. We live in a country where an 11-year-old girl is raped
Can I
in Surat
respond?
and has 86 injury marks on her body, and the BJP law and order machinery has no clue 10 days later as to who her rapists or killers are. So, Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, before you preach and pontificate, and while Aryaman Sundaram speaks, and as we call for death for rapists in India to be made into actionable law, your question should be, who are you trying to kid? Which Indian believes our women are safer under your government, when the fact of the matter is that you do nothing to deliver justice in Unnao, Kathua or
So
Surat
let me respond.
till we
I think
raise
if
it,
you've done
till
with
we
the-
raise it, and who are you pretending to preach to? So, if you have the guts, then institute an act, and the whole country will support you. Have death for rapists. Even if
let
some
me
of those
respond
people,
now.
so which means even if there is a BJP MLA accused of rape, that person should also face death charges. After that, I want to see how many MLAs can even try and attempt to rape people in their constituencies. I don't want you to give you the list of your party people and other party people who are accused of such actions, but you must speak from the heart today. Now, Aryaman Sundaram will respond, and then Gaurav, I will come to you because I've given you some food for thought. Aryaman Sundaram, death for rapists.
No, out of respect
Arnab,
for Sundaram,
question number one. Do I believe that a child... Please allow me to finish, Gaurav. Don't interrupt. Arnab, number one. Do I believe that a child rapist can be reformed? Certainly not. I don't believe he should be reformed. Do I believe there should be mercy for a child rapist? Certainly not. I believe there should be no mercy for a child rapist. Do I believe that there are any special human rights which should be afforded to such a child rapist? Certainly not. A child rapist is the most despicable creature that walks on this earth. And I believe that he should be treated no better in any way than what he is worth, which is an abysmal reflection on what a person can descend to. The point here is that, as you well know, Arnab, and I've said it very often, I believe that the retributive sentence is correct. I believe in deterrence, reformation. Child rapist, I don't even look at reformation. I look at retribution and deterrence. But as you well know, Arnab, I, as a principle, am against the death sentence
So, but it
for
doesn't
any
work.
crime. I believe in imprisonment for life. No, let me finish, Arnab. I believe in imprisonment for the rest of your life without any parole. I do not believe in reformation of these people. I believe that they should be incarcerated for life, no question of parole, that should be brought in. I believe that a rapist of a child, whether the child is killed or not, it's not rape coupled with murder. Just rape of a child deserves a penalty no less than the penalty you will give for murder. It deserves no less. Having said that, I must reiterate what I've always said. I am basically against the death penalty.
So
give them any
problem.
punishment, according to me.
No.
Incarceration for life, no parole. But I am basically
So
against the
law-
death penalty for anyone. Anyone. This has nothing to do with rape. As a principle, I'm against
Aryaman
death
Sundaram.
penalty. If the law provides for it,
Aryaman
if the law
Sundaram.
provides...
No, Mr.
Let me just finish. If the law provides for death for murder, then it should equally provide for death for a child rapist. I'm against the law which provides for any death at all.
Yes.
But if there is on our statute books a penalty of death for murder, there should be no less a penalty.
Okay,
for a child
so here's a point, Aryaman Sundaram. Aryaman Sundaram, now let me hear you. Aryaman Sundaram, I respect you. One second. Gaurav, I'm coming to you, but I need to respond to Aryaman Sundaram. Aryaman Sundaram, I respect you. You're independent. Barka, don't jump at me. 1 second. Don't jump at my argument. Let me respond to Aryaman Sundaram. We cannot mix a philosophical premise with a real one. My problem is the philosophical premise that one is against capital punishment is a position of principle. A position of principle cannot be mixed up with an aspect of reality. The reality is that there is a death sentence, and therefore the reality also is there is no death sentence for rapists, but there is a death sentence for murderers. And hence, let us start from a fact what you said, that let there be first a death sentence for rapists and murderers. Then I can, after that, debate ad nauseum with you on whether there should be capital punishment or not. The problem is that people like Barkhat Rehan take advantage of the philosophical debate on whether there should be capital punishment and mix it up with the reality that there can be no punishment too harsh for child rapists. They keep saying, it's like saying we want peace with Pakistan, we want talks with Pakistan, while Pakistan continues to terrorize our country. You can't mix up the two.
Be hanged?
Hanged.
But false accusers should be also hanged. Should we ask death penalty for the false accusers also?
There is something called a judicial process. Tanveer. Tanveer and Barkha.
And here the media process goes on.
What is really important, nobody here says that go and if somebody is accused, go and hang them. There is a judicial process. When everything is proved, then we are saying, because look at the case in question is Kathua. A child is raped by multiple men by multiple times. And that girl, one of those persons said, before killing her, let me rape her one more time. Look at the mindset. And you want life imprisonment for such a criminal? He should be hanged the very first day he is proven. I mean, you can't. There is no way because
We
in
should,
there is
we
they'll
should
always
severely
find a way
punish
out
these
of
people.
it. So
They can
the
be
point
put behind
is that
bars.
when somebody
These
is
people can
when
be put
somebody is
behind bars.
proven,
But
there should
why
be
death
no
penalty?
judicial process for him. He should be hanged there and then.
Yeah, because
Because he
They
should
can
know
be
because
put
everybody is
behind
scared of
bars.
death.
There is life
Faisal,
imprisonment
Faisal.
is
He should
always
know
there.
if he does
There
this,
can
1%
be
death penalty and you'll
people
see
also.
these people will not dare not do this again.
No death penalty. No death penalty.
this is then you don't come. You
When
know,
we cannot give a
Yes,
life
death
But,
penalty in the
we
rarest of the
cannot
rare
simply
case.
take it.
Death penalty in the rarest of the rare cases, ma'am. To set a deterrent, it has to be done.
What reform are they talking about? I want to understand
And
this.
if there's
I
a so-called
want to
juvenile who's a
understand.
monster, he
no.
commits a similar crime, will you take the responsibility and go jail on his behalf?
They won't.
You
They
tell me,
won't.
Will you take the
They won't.
responsibility?
John, they
and go
won't.
to jail on his
But
behalf?
Why
I want-
don't we go and watch for the backgrounds? What is the education system here? Why don't we learn about these things? Where the person is coming from? What is his
The
background?
most-
Why
Tanvi,
has he
Tanvi,
done
Tanvi,
this
Tanvi, Tanvi.
crime? Instead of
So,
giving him death penalty,
okay, just-
why can't we
Listen.
see these things?
The lives of the children
Why
are
can't
more
we enhance the
important than the
education
rapists.
system?
You need to understand that. The day you understand that a child is more important than that criminal, you will understand why a rapist should be given a death penalty.
Today you want to. I don't think. I asked the question. Viewers, 1
I
minute.
know
Viewers,
a child
viewers, the
is more
question here. Gaurav
important.
Bhatia
For
needs to
sure
come
a
in.
child is more
Gaurav and
important.
Tahira have not come in. But I before Gaurav comes in, what are the thoughts we have on this Monday evening? I say, what mercy do you want for beasts in the bodies of men who rape an 8-year-old child inside a holy shrine? What reform do you see for them? Barkha sees reform, I see no reform. John Dayal wants to reform them. These people gang rape a child inside a
No, I don't want to
Devi for 8
reform them.
days,
I have-
sedate her
listen.
repeatedly, reach out to a rapist
Death
from another state,
penalty
tell a rapist
does
from
not
another
work
state,
for any crime.
John Dayal, they call up a rapist from another state. They said, come, satiate your lust on this child. What reform are you
Have
talking
you
about?
heard
You and
of
Barkha can
Billah
reform.
and
Nobody can
Hajra?
reform these people. One of these people, you kill them.
No, I don't want to reform.
One of these people, the
Lock
state kills
them up
them.
forever.
The state through a
Lock them
legal
up forever.
process. I say
But
today,
have you heard
John,
that
John,
Ganga's
listen,
hanging,
John,
stop
in your
rapes,
favorite
that
United
Billah's
States of
hangings,
America,
stop
in
rape.
your favorite United States of America, where you
Arnab,
go
allow
and
me to
complain
also
about our
make my
country, they
point.
would
I
pull a
waited
child
for my
rapist,
turn.
murderer
And I
on
hope
the
you'll
electric
give me
chair.
some
Gaurav
time.
is on the debate.
Please, I waited for the
Gaurav, why
debate.
don't you do it? Why doesn't your government bring in such a law? What are you scared of? What are you scared of? You are scared for your MLA?
Arnab, first
Are you
of all,
worried about what will happen to your MLA?
Arnab, if you
Is
want
your
to
concern your
interrupt
MLA?
and reduce the level of the debate, that's a choice you are making.
My
Let
debate
me
is very
first
well settled,
start
sir.
by saying that when such a heinous crime is committed, it pains everyone, and irrespective of the political ideology we follow, but these are our sisters, and they have to face these challenges, and such heinous crimes are committed. But let me say that it's not only about giving death to rapists. We have to also ensure that justice is done in a speedy manner.
Yeah.
The criminal justice delivery system has been improved by the BJP government.
Oh,
by
come on.
taking
Oh, come on.
effective
Oh,
steps,
come
and
on.
I'm telling you how. We all saw
Oh,
the
come on.
Nirbhaya case. We all
Oh,
saw
come on,
Nirbhaya
come on.
case. It was very sad. The criminal
No.
law
You are not
amendment
going to
act was brought
advertise your
in
party's
2013.
achievements here. This
But
is not a
it did not
manifesto
ensure
debate.
that there are no longer any rapes committed. So this government
is on the debate.
proactively amended
we
the
are on an open
Juvenile
debate.
Justice
Tanvi.
Act. And now
I
juveniles
remind
who
you
commit
all
heinous
about
crimes
your-
between the age
Gaurav,
of 16
I'll
to
remind you
18
about your
can be
BJP
tried as
ministers
adults.
who
Second,
had the
there are
audacity
two
to go and
BJP
support those
please
rapists.
don't
Don't
speak
forget
in
that.
between,
Don't.
Tanveer.
If you are
Don't
really
reduce the
serious,
level of
you
the
need
debate.
to strengthen
I
the
hope that you
legislation.
will be
You need to
sensitive to the
strengthen the
cause.
law.
You
Instead
come
of
from a
talking what the
party
BJP did,
who calls
because your
terrorists
party
heroes.
did all the
So
wrongs in
please, I don't
Kathua.
want
So
to
please
get
don't
into
preach
this.
us. If you are really serious, let's not play politics and
The
let's
BJP
pass a
sacked the two
resolution or
ministers.
let's pass
The
a
Congress
legislation
chief is still
where
there.
people
Have
or
you
children
questioned
get faith.
your
They have
ally
faith in the
that
law.
they should sack the
Not just
Congress
rhetoric,
Jammu
not
and
just
Kashmir chief?
just
You do
lip
not have the
service.
courage because
I
you
think
are
the
only
time for
scoring
lip service is
political brownie
over.
points.
It is
But
time
this
to
debate is
react and
far
it is
more
time to
serious.
act.
Gaurav.
This debate
If and
is about
unless and
the
until
girls of our
those
country
rapists
to
don't get
ensure
death
that their
sentence,
dignity is
please don't
maintained.
expect
So
anything.
please
All
don't
your
make it a
ministers,
political
people
debate.
like Lal
For
Singh
God's
and
sake,
Ganga will be there to support them.
Gaurav,
Arnab,
a minute.
the two states in the country
Gaurav, a minute.
that have amended
Gaurav, a
the
minute.
criminal law
Gaurav, what did you say?
that death
What did you
sentence can
say,
be given if a
Gaurav?
minor
Gaurav
is
and me
raped
on the program.
is
One minute,
Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh.
one minute, Tanvir, 1 minute. Gaurav, I need to talk to you. You said now, don't make it a political
I
debate.
did not complete my point,
Are you
and you should
worried?
extend me
See,
the courtesy.
when I'm one-on-one
Once I
on a
waited
debate
for
with
more
you,
than 25
you tend to
minutes,
panic.
that you
I
would
want to
give me
ask
2
you,
minutes of
Gaurav,
uninterrupted
why is
time.
it that when I want to debate,
That's the basic
viewers
courtesy
viewers
you should
see,
extend.
it is 45 minutes past 10.
But
For
let me
30
first
seconds,
make
I
my
want to
point and
speak
then
to
you
Gaurav
debate with
directly,
me.
and Gaurav has already started panicking. Now listen to me, relax.
Did you not speak to me for 5 minutes and then you said I'll come to you, Gaurav, and you did not?
It's all right. So what if you're in power? There's no reservation for
Can I
parties
first
in power
make
on
my
my
point,
program.
Arnab?
So what if you're in power? What do you want? Special treatment?
No, it's about having a meaningful debate.
Meaningful debate? You're going to censor me?
It's about having a
Just
meaningful
because
debate.
you're the ruling
Don't
party,
be
you
like
think you are carrying the
dictator.
scissors on
You are not
Republic? No,
Idi
sir, no.
Amin from Uganda.
No, sir, no. You're not going to decide
Are
the
you
agenda
Idi
of this
Amin
channel.
from Uganda?
Sir, please
Don't
let me tell
trivialize
you.
the debate,
My
please.
problem is with your hypocrisy.
Please don't trivialize the debate.
You should understand,
No.
Gaurav.
When
1 minute,
I
Gaurav,
come
listen
for
to
the
me.
debate
Gaurav,
as a
30 seconds
BJP
from you. 30 seconds.
representative, I have
30
come
seconds,
here to
Gaurav.
make the
Viewers,
points clear
he is
how
not
we
listening
have
to
worked
me,
effectively.
and I want
And if there
Aryaman
is
to
a
come into the
shortcoming,
debate.
then we'll take care of that. But you try to
Aryaman, the
politicize
question
it,
is,
put on
Gaurav,
him.
one-on-one with you. Is the BJP not ashamed of the fact that you were sworn into power after the horrific Nirbhaya rape case, and in your final year ensuring that India is yet again being portrayed as the rape capital of the world? You're not ashamed of staking India's image on the world
Nirbhaya
stage?
happened during the Congress government.
Yeah, but you were
I think
brought
your
in,
facts are wrong
you
and
came in
second,
on that
that's why
hope
I started
that you
by
will
giving
change
you the
things.
example of how
You came in
an
on the hope
amendment
that you will
was brought
change things.
in the
You did
Juvenile
nothing in
Justice
Unnao.
Act, so
You said
that
we are for justice for women. You
juveniles
did
who
nothing in
commit a
Kathua.
heinous
You
crime
say you
are
champion
also
women's
tried as
rights.
adults.
You do nothing in
So your
Surat.
topic today
Stop the
is something
hypocrisy.
that
Stop,
we have
Gaurav.
already
Stop the
brought
hypocrisy.
partially
India is
by
not going to go with
amending
this
the
good cop,
Juvenile
bad cop
Justice Act.
attitude of yours. Gaurav, why is it that we have to sit and tell you that the Surat rape victim who died in 11 years and 10 days later rapists and killers are still free? And what preaching are you giving me on the
No,
program?
and let me also tell you, every rape victim and the family deserves to get speedy justice is my point.
Don't give me
And I
your
hope you're
lectures on
hearing
the
that.
debate.
It's
Don't
not
give me
about
deserves.
Surat.
Yes,
It's
we
not
deserve.
about any
But we don't
state,
deserve this.
whether it is BJP
No,
rule or
everyone is on the
non-BJP
debate.
rule.
Don't tell me what we deserve.
The reforms
Are you
that
for
we
the
are
death
getting
penalty or
will
against it?
ensure speedy
Aryaman,
justice. And the law
Aryaman,
minister
at least
has
Aryaman is
allowed
against it.
and
At
more
least
needs to be
Aryaman is
done.
against it. Are you for or against the death
You
penalty?
can-
I'm
you
for the
can
death
amend and
penalty.
have-
I'm
You
for the
can-
death
let
penalty.
me
Where
make
do you
my
stand?
point, Arnab.
Where do you
You can
stand?
have death sentence.
Tell us today.
If
Tell
the
us.
criminal
Aryaman,
justice
I'm
delivery
telling the
system
ruling
doesn't
party
work,
spokesperson
just
on the
amending
program
the act
today.
and having
I am
death
telling the
sentence
ruling
would not
party
be an effective
spokesperson on the
measure.
program
Arnab, my
today
greatest
not
fear.
to tell me where he stands for or against the death penalty. Aryaman is against. I am for. Where do you stand?
Arnab, shall I tell you?
Aryaman.
Arnab, I watched you.
I'm also
I
against.
watched you bang
Aryaman,
your
Aryaman,
head
Aryaman,
against
Aryaman.
the wall for the last 15 minutes. And you've been, Arnab, I've been watching you bang your head against a wall for the last few minutes. But you'll find that every politician will be unwilling to commit himself on this aspect. Let's face one fact. The number of politicians today, I'm not talking about one party or the other, I'm saying the number of politicians today who are facing rape and murder charges is frightening.
Yeah.
The number of politicians who are even going to be standing for elections, who are standing
let
for
me
elections,
respond to
the number of
Sundaram.
them are facing these charges is frightening. What is equally frightening is the fact of what we have just seen happening in Uttar Pradesh, what we've seen with a BJP MLA, and how for 1 year he has avoided anything being done to him. He's been supported one way or the other. In the public eye, perception at least, he's been supported by a ruling
Can I
party
respond to
government.
Sundaram?
And it's a very sad cry. So when you ask a politician, what are you going to do about it? The politician will always get into politics.
But the politician is in power,
obfuscating the
Aryaman.
issue,
No, that's
because
not
they
correct.
cannot
But the
come out to
politician
you
is
and
in power,
say, we
Aryaman.
will do it
Let me
immediately.
Aryaman,
That is the
the
problem.
politician is in
That's
power.
why That's why you will never
Can I
find a
respond to
law.
him, please?
That's why you will never find a law which they will bring in, which will make the penalty for a child rapist the same as a penalty for murder. They will not do it.
Why?
Because it's happening too much, and too much of
Okay,
their own
let me
ilk
respond
is
to him
involved in
first.
it.
Oh, no, it's a.
I think that
No,
you
no,
should
let
ask the
me respond to
politician
Mr.
why,
Sundaram. Mr.
if he will
Sundaram,
answer
I
the
think
question.
factually you're not right here.
Oh,
Speaking
yes,
for
he's
the
right.
BJP, when the Criminal Law Amendment Act was brought, Section 376A attracts death penalty. The BJP supported it. When we came to power, we amended the Juvenile Justice Act, where juveniles between the age of 16 to 18 can be tried as adults when they commit a heinous act. And Third, 2 states, I've given you examples of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, who have amended the Indian Penal Code to introduce death penalty as the sentence that can be given in case of rapes to a minor. And here, it is a firm resolve not to just ensure that there is death penalty or serious sentence given,
What
but
is
also
taking so
speedy
long
justice,
to come up
so
with
that
an ordinance
families
and
who have
passing
gone
out
through
the
the
making
trauma
capital
don't have to
punishment
wait for
as
30 long
as a
years.
punishment against
That's
such
why
crimes?
this government has formed more courts. We have introduced many measures. We have ensured that
No,
judiciary
no,
has the
no, no,
required
no, no, no,
infrastructure.
no,
There are
ineffective.
adequate
That is
number
not
of
the
judges
answer to
and
Aryaman's
the number
question.
of
So when it
cases
took
One-
only
one-
1 minute for
that
you
is
to
not the answer to
announce
Aryaman's
the
what we
question.
inherited from the Congress.
Taira is on the debate. Taira has a hand raised. And 1 second, Gaurav, that is not the
Allow me
answer to
to-
Aryaman's question, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Taira, let me remind the ruling party spokesperson on my program this evening, if he only chooses to listen to me. Because the problem sometimes with ruling party spokespersons is that they don't listen. And they will listen only when they lose an election. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Good. Now when I talk about losing an election, suddenly you listen.
That he will ask the question and then try to answer it without listening to what the panelist is saying.
Hello?
And this is not about
Hello,
you being
hello,
an
hello,
actor
hello. Okay,
or me being a spokesperson of the ruling party.
No.
You are a citizen, so am I.
No, you are a ruling party spokesperson. You've come on my program as a ruling party spokesperson. You have come on my program as a ruling party spokesperson, not as a citizen.
What your party did, they were just protecting
Yes, and I speak for the ruling party, but I still continue to be the citizen.
Of course.
Asifa was my sister, and she will
was-
always remain my sister. And if we have to face the flag, I
What
will face the
your
flag.
party
But
did
at
in
the same
Katwa,
time, it is my
8-year-old
duty
girl
to also
abducted.
show-
Okay, one point I wish to make. You know, on 10th September, viewers, I must make this point because I have 1 minute on the debate. On 10th September 2013, Sushma Swaraj, as leader of the opposition when the BJP was in power in the context of Nirbhaya's rapists, said, I have raised the demand, the BJP has raised the demand for award capital punishment to these convicts. And the BJP believes that if they're awarded the death penalty, then the BJP believes it will be a model for the country. And the BJP believes it will effectively curb incidents of rapes. That was 2013, when you were in the opposition. What happened, Gaurav? Forgotten?
All the help at your
Forgotten?
side, you are wrong.
This government has failed miserably
Why
as
the
per
Sushma
Association of Democratic
I have an
Reform.
important question
Maximum
to-
number of
I have a-
criminals with cases of crime.
I'm running short of time.
समाजवादी पार्टी
Viewers, I'm running short of time.
लड़के हैं, लड़कों से गलती हो जाती है।
I repeat the point tonight.
हो नहीं सकता।
One panelist on my Sunday debate came and said political parties must not, and we are putting the clip on Republic World, Trisha said it, political parties must not attack each other to defend somebody else, their own track record on rape and attack somebody else's. That clip I'm putting on Republic World, viewers. But I say to Gaurav Bhatia today, the onus is on you. Take a position. You're for or against death penalty. Don't obfuscate it. I thank you all very much for joining me on debate number 2, and I'll see you tomorrow evening at 9 p.m. Ladies and gentlemen, good night and goodbye.